Hi guys, how you going? Campbell here from Autodidactic Channel. Hope you're all having a spectacular day. And today I wanted to have a look at some old world cities from above, just to show you the layouts and also some new world cities to show you what they've done to those layouts. We're in Rome at the moment, and I find this building quite interesting because, as you'll see, we've got 3 doors here. But we seem to have 2 small doors and 1 door for giants. And I showed this in another video I did about Rome, where there seems to be 2 different sized buildings here, like giant sized buildings and normal sized buildings. As you can see, this has got a big dome on it, Antiquitech towers. And just so you know, this is where we are in this strange shape. It looks a lot like the Circus Maximus. So the Circus Maximus is this one. Big long bit, and this, yeah, looks very similar. But this one is enclosed with buildings, and here's that big dome that we just saw the giant doors on, and the fountain. All old world building. You can see this is all old world, all the arches and everything, but it's been, refacaded as they love to do. Got some, it's like an old street lamp, but it looks fairly antiquitech. We've got an obelisk here with a spire on top, on top of a big fountain. So completely old world. And if we go up here a bit, you will see, and this is something I've been mentioning. See, this is the cobblestone, the old world cobblestone roads. I have no idea what that is. And if we look over here, mud flood. And so this is the old, what we sort of term or think of as old world roads. So, like, yeah, someone's obviously come in after the mud flood and put all the roads in, all the, all these lights that are everywhere, because they're all at the right, they seem to be at the right level. They're definitely all the same level above ground. All the fountains, all this, it's all at the new level. But the buildings are at a lower level. So, who did that? How did they do it? How long did it take? When did it happen? Lots of questions. Alrighty, let's get into this. Okay, so this is a aerial view of where we just were. This was that big building, so you can see the huge dome on it. Here we've got our 3 fountains. And this is completely enclosed, big courtyard, and this, like I said, is Rome. And straight away you can see what I've pointed out before with these street layouts and all the funny angles, the big, sweeping curves, and even buildings that are built on funny angles around these roads. See how they all fit these funny. And you get buildings here like this that are full, almost triangles and things, all fitted in to this grid. So that's one of the big hallmarks of the old world cities. And in Europe you see it a lot, and they're actually called the old city. And they've always got this red look to them from above. I guess a lot of them have been because you think you're looking at the roof, right? Obviously we've got red brick, but I guess a lot of them get the orange terracotta roofs put on them. As we can see, got a star here. Citadel still intact, 4-sider there. Nice old world building, and right on the man-made canal. And again, another feature that I've been pointing out of star cities, because what we just saw there was what's termed as a star fort, which it's actually a citadel, and they're part of a much bigger infrastructure, which is a star city. And as you can see, this canal, no doubt they'll call this a river, but I'm calling it a man-made canal, or at least finished off by man, redirected a bit by man. May have been a natural watercourse at some point, but they all have these bends in them. See this bend? These bends here? They all seem to have them. A few more out here. And what you find, now this isn't 100% of the time. I showed one the other day where actually that was on the bend, but they're always sitting, the actual old star cities, the old city part is always sitting on one of these bends. Always. And of course, another feature is islands. They always have these islands to split the current, just to keep the water energized, I think is what that's a part of. And so, yeah, this is a big star city. So some of the features I wanted to show you is things. Now, Rome is a bit built over, that they've sort of, trashed a few of these things. But this is the Colosseum. As you can see, it's nice and round. And you can kind of see see this sort of shape here? That would have been one of these boulevard type things. Got a few ruins in there and some new buildings. And so here's the Circus Maximus again. And as we can see, this is the same kind of shape. It's like a boulevardy type shape. Apparently, there used to be like seating the whole way around. I'm not sure what happened to all that. All we've got left is this broken end bit. And this is the same as we see everywhere, these sort of semicircles. And they've got pillars, they're all columns, they're all sort of colonnaded around. But you can see this is just being sort of left to ruin. And this is all we've really got. A little bit here, half the wall, if that, and nothing. And they're saying, yeah, this is definitely the Circus Maximus. So was it? What was this really? Because all it looks like to me is just some old land that's just had a lot of stuff taken out of it. And they're trying to sort of, I guess, say this is the track. I don't know, but there's nothing left of what really looks like they were telling us is the Circus Maximus. So again, is this just refacading and just sort of, that was a much grander boulevard maybe? And they've just ripped everything out and just said, oh no, that was the Circus Maximus, because everything we get about this is written down by people that we do not know. Okay, so there's not much of a good view here. It's in here, but you can see it is basically ruins. You can see there, half of it's kind of complete, and this is all smashed over. And see, this was one of these big boulevards. It looks like it's just been filled in with sand or something. And at the end, we have a building. Now, it may be an old world building. Should we have a quick look? So I would be interested. I would think that it's probably a newer building. There you go. It looks like a mud flutter. So yeah, but you can see this big, boulevard type thing. And it comes up, and we've got some, the geometry we always see in the ground here. And it comes up here. Got all this old world stuff, got the island. So that one, yeah, I'm not sure that would have been one of these buildings. Now, the funny thing is, they're calling that ruins. Now, if we come up and go to the Vatican, you'll see the exact same thing here. These exact same shapes, but this is not ruins, and they're going to tell us that this was probably one's, thousands of years old, and one's, not. One's, I'm not sure how old they say the Vatican is, sort of, what is it, 600-700 years or something? This is the Vatican, yeah, these big curved, and they've always got columns in them. So this, you see this design in so many old world cities. Big domed building at the end, these curved, colonnaded semicircle things. I don't know what they are. This one's got nice big columns on the end, and we've got a big obelisk here. Now if we turn around, now no doubt this is, you can see it's all been paved. But you can see that was a big straight boulevard. Look at that. So if we come up and check out the angles on these buildings, there's another curved building. So you can see that's a big, boulevard coming up to this big domed building here. And that is a pattern that we see a lot. And here's that star coming down to the starport into the water. Now normally you would see an arch in there or a fountain or something. And that one seems to have been taken out. So here we go, just look at the roads here, that shape. And this is another thing you see in these old world cities, is they seem to build in these radiating patterns coming out. Like I said, a lot of this has been built over, you know, golf courses, of course. But let's go and have a look at Gay Paris. And Paris is probably the best example of an old world city, pretty untouched. And they actually put a ban on high-rise buildings over so many stories back in the 70s, so they don't have any skyscrapers. I think they have a few apartment buildings that are, you know, maybe 5 or 6 stories. But first thing, see this is the old world city. They even show you the boundaries. Not sure what was up here, but as you can see, lots of geometry in the ground. This one's not really looked after as well as the other ones. You can see this was a big, you know, sort of built out structure, or, you know, geometrically designed area. And what it reminds me of is the Vatican that we just saw in Rome, because in Rome we saw the main city and the Vatican was kind of this bit that popped off it. So just, yeah. Again, here we have the canal. Okay, you can see these familiar lines here, and again, see this big curve. And this one goes straight through the Star City, and that's another feature. They normally go straight through as well. And I guess that's why, you know, they're always on the curve, right? So here we go. Again, now this is what I just showed you, this sort of spiraling out shape. It's everywhere. See this, how it all sort of radiates out? Of course, just funny angles everywhere. Look at all these triangles, triangle-shaped buildings. And here we have, yeah, one of the boulevards. Okay, so, you know, more stuff here. You know, geometry everywhere in the ground. You know, strange-shaped buildings. And this one is good. So this, we've got this big boulevard coming up here. This is, it's a statue. May have been something else, and it comes up here again to a big domed building. Now this one, I'd say this has been changed a bit. That looks like it was one of those half circles, you know, with the that's cut into sections, and it looks like it's radiating, kind of like a sunburst a bit. And as you can see, it kind of is bursting backwards as well, like that. So if we look at the other direction, maybe it's heading this way. Maybe this is the power source, and it's, you know, geometrically, fractically sort of pushing it forward. But also normally there's an arch, but the arch seems to be taken out of this one. But here, this pattern here, that's what it looks like. That was, but a circular version. Okay, maybe this is the water. Is that? Don't know. I'd say that used to be a fountain if it isn't anymore. And then, yeah, this boulevard again with more geometry. Now this one goes up and kind of stops. So I'm not sure what happened there. Again, here's these radiating lines just everywhere. And here we have another one. And, you know, the same kind of set out. Not exactly, but it's just geometry, these big long boulevard things. And this one as well continues all the way up here, up to this. Which I believe is that, yeah, that's the Arc de Triomphe. So there you go, that's the Arc. And of course, you know, Arc, is this an electrical system, is what we've been asking. Again, you can see everything radiating out. And it comes up here, another one there, cut into 6. They're normally cut into 4, 6. I have seen some with 8 as well. And just this, you know, radiating geometry pattern everywhere. and then we come up, more geometry, and like I said, this probably used to be water in here somewhere, I would think. There's, normally a fountain, and you often find those reflection pools, those shallow, long pools, like in Washington, in front of the Washington Memorial. And look at this. What's that? Tiny little people. Look how wide these paths are. But this looks like trees. Like, they're growing something, but the same thing. This is like a starburst. Not sure why it's been cut there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4, 6, yeah, 12, and the 13. Interesting. And another thing, with these squares and these cross things we see, I was just thinking it's kind of the same, maths, I guess. We've got, 1, 2, 3, 4 around the outside and the one in the middle. So it's kind of like the dome setup where we see the 4 smaller domes around the big center one. So maybe number 5 has something to do with this, and we haven't been told about it. This is the Louvre, and they've got a nice pyramid in the ground here. This as well, this nice geometry. I'm not sure what. Looks like there used to be something in there that was taken out. I can't see. Is that just flat? I don't know. Let's have a quick look down here though, because this place is ridiculous. Look at all this again, curved off into this circle, all geometry. It's just ridiculous. Oh my gosh. We just ended up inside a shopping centre. How did that happen? Okay. Did we just go to a parallel universe? That's weird. I've never done that. What? There's not even a shopping centre there. Well, where did we go? I'm going to try it again. Oh my gosh. Maybe there's an underground shopping centre. Look at this. Bit Freemasonic. Alright, that's confusing. Wow. Okay, let's... That's so weird. Because there's an arch there. Okay, now it's working. Okay, so this is an arc, another arc there. So that's what I'm saying. This was probably, I would think, water, like a fountain or something at some point. Oh my God. Get me out of this shopping centre. What is going on here? Come on. Let me stand in the middle here. Will that work? Oh, okay. Maybe they're trying to show me something. Oh, so this is underneath the pyramid in the Louvre. And look at this. This is what you get. An upside down pyramid coming down, and can you see it's resting on this little capstone pyramid? And if we go out and just have a look at this, for one, they've squared the circle, and 2, this is actually a pyramid. As we saw, this is flat on the ground, but if you get this triangle and stand it up, get this triangle and stand it up, stand it up, stand it up, what will you have? You'll have a pyramid. So that's actually representing a splayed out, flattened pyramid. Let me look at this. Don't send me to it. Oh, yes, look at this. Okay, so this is the Louvre, old street lights, bollards, the whole thing. And this, yeah, no, so there's nothing there. So that just must be a glass roof. And what it's doing is going to the lower levels. Okay, so this has lower levels, and where are we? There's the arc, the arch, massive buildings everywhere, and there's our pyramid. So that as well actually goes under the ground to lower levels. This thing, that was what we just saw, that inverted pyramid, that was the bottom of this, I'm pretty sure. Right, let me go near it. I think we can get here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look at these buildings. Quite ridiculous. And I mean, just look at how big they are. Look, it stretches from there all the way down, all the way around. One big building. Look at that. Keeps going. Look at these arches. Turn into a tunnel. And all the way to there. That is one big construction. And yeah, this is our pyramid. But like I said, old world street lights, the whole thing. Here they are again. Always the same level off the ground at the right level. So they've been put in after the flood. Bollards, all this kind of stuff. More lights. But when we look at these buildings, you know, we have stairs going up. And no doubt there's windows. And this one, you know, we know there's a whole lower level down here. They'll probably try and tell us that they dug that out and built it, but they tell us lots of things, don't they? So here again, you can just see, here's our boulevard. We've got something here. You know, there's just geometry everywhere. Like here, this is a courtyard of another huge building. Glass roof. Again, this is probably a filled-in fountain. You know, emptied water. So whatever was going on, they've emptied the lot. They've just taken it all apart. But look at these buildings. Look at that. Massive old world building. And you saw how big that was in the courtyard. Here we have the bollards again. Street lights. So this is pretty much a star city. This is what a star city would have looked like. I'm not sure if that's wobbly or if that's just the screen. What's that say? No to lights. No to lights. Bunker booth. These big copper squared off domes. And just, yeah, I'm not sure what the name of this architecture is, but we see this a lot as well. With the big metal or copper roofs. Portals, columns. Just ridiculous. So yeah, that was this. This is our big boulevard. Here we have another one leading up to a huge dome building. What is that? Oh god. And see all this, looks like there's been a lot of stuff, you know, covered over. You get all these funny parks and kind of golf courses and mini golf and all this kind of stuff. But what are they really covering up? Look at that. And this place is cool. Whoa, okay. Might be a bit close. I'm not sure what this place is, but this is the big dome. What is going on with Google Earth? Where am I now? Look at this, 2019 Google. I'm stuck in... What the hell? Okay, Google. Okay, they want to keep sending me underground. Are they trying to show me tunnels or something? Because, yeah, getting a bit weird, Google. Just let me stand on the ground. Again! I'm into underground tunnels. Underground parking lot. What the hell? Where the hell is there an underground parking lot? This is, yeah, a little confusing. Oh, wow, look at these in the ground. Oh, are they windows? Oh, is that where I went? Wow, okay. Just went down there again. Okay, so this is strange, but these look like windows to get light to a lower level. Okay, let's see if we can end up on the top. Nah, just straight underground. And there's lower levels. What's going on? I mean, what? Am I in? Oh, okay, I'm in the lift zone. Very strange what's going on here. I really just want to have a look at that building. Oh my god, Google, you are retarded today. Okay, so this is obviously a big dome. They don't want us to have a look at. Okay, is that a road going round? Don't know. These curved buildings again, and that's the same shape we see, we just saw at the Vatican. And are they columns? They look like columns. Okay, I'm going to have one go to see if we can get on the inside. Oh, look at that. We are above ground. Yeah, look at these columns all the way around there. And even that, okay, that's the big dome building we were looking at. Wow. Giant doors, mud flutter, and look at this. But yeah, this building, see, this was the same as this bit here, is what we saw at the Vatican, colonnaded semicircle. This one's obviously got housing or buildings on top of it, whatever they originally were for. Bollards everywhere. So there we go, Paris, and just check out these lines, isn't it? The geometry is just ridiculous. Obviously, golf courses have been mentioned before. Great way to cover up the old world. Like I said, Paris is a pretty good example of an intact, pretty much intact old world star city, and of course on this side, another sort of massive parklands, and you can just see the geometry in the ground here. So definitely something underneath, and it's just kind of built over that one. And I've just jumped across to London just quickly to show you, because London are not as intact as Paris, and you can still see the central kind of star. Now, London was definitely a star city. I've seen the photos, or the drawings, pictures. Big walled city, Londinium it was called. Got lots of lakes here. I'm just looking for the, yeah, okay, look at this. So exactly the same shape we see on these canals when they go through the star cities. This funny looping sort of shape that we see everywhere, which means our main star city should really be on one of these. I'm thinking here, because you can kind of see the shape. Now look at this. So we have bits of the old world city here. See these? It's the letter A. All these funny shapes, funny angles, and these are still there. So we should see old world buildings. Let's have a look. Get down here, and yeah, look at that. That's definitely old world. Wow, very weathered. This is old world. We've got our columns here. We've got this completely refacaded. Okay, so this goes down underground to the underground. And this building here, see, this looks kind of new, but I would say that's an old, just refacaded building. You know, they've just put this front in, squared off the windows, and put a different front on it. But you can see these are square windows too, so it could have just been a shorter version of this, and they've just changed it to make it look newer. But these definitely old world buildings. Look at this big arch in here. Antiquitech. Oh, look at this. What? Look at that cross. How did I miss that? Hang on. What was that? Just in here. Oh wow, look at that. Oh wow, look at that. See how that's like a facade and you can see this building behind it? How interesting. Red brickers. So yeah. Don't know what they've turned that into. Here's that old world building again, and this is a big dome. Look at that, cantilevered hanging out. I would say that's a big sort of domed building. But anyway, I'm digressing. All these funny angles, that's old world. And what do we see? Again here, old world, see these funny shapes. See it everywhere, and then this is what they do. They come in and they turn everything into square grids. See this? Square grids, square grids, square grids here. And you can see, but also look at all these boulevards. Just like we were looking at in Paris, but again, they've just been filled in, changed. They've put some tennis courts in here. and basically ripped it all out. At the end here, don't know what that is, not domed, but yeah, so this clearly was a star city, but they've just built all over it basically. He trashed most of it. Here we get an intact boulevard, and I'm just calling them boulevards. That's, you know, kind of what they are. I'm not sure what their actual name is if they've got one, but you can see the geometry coming off here, and then it's just dies because they've turned it all into squares. So this is all new, but this is old. And again here you can just see the difference. Old world city here, funny shapes, and then all this grid, new grid here. Look at that starburst. You can kind of see it going off there. No doubt that's some kind of something they've claimed as a palace. Again, water or a statue obelisk. Here we have probably that's a remnant, I would say, of a reflection pool or something. And just comes straight down, of course, to another radiating circle. I'm not sure what that is. Probably an obelisk. But yeah, you can see that, how it sort of radiates off. They've kind of taken this leg off it, but you can see that probably went through to there. So yeah, they've just built all over it. So definitely an old world city, star city, but they've completely sort of built over it. And of course it's London, so we just have the royals, you know, they claim their sort of palaces. And that's it. Oh, look at that. Is that? It is too. 5-sided star. Depending on which way you look at it. It could be a pentagram, or it could be a 5-sided star, the symbol of humans. And here we go, just this geometry. Just see it everywhere. So yeah, quick look just to show you that's pretty much the layout we get of star cities. You know, the canals. I showed a few different points like the cathedrals in my last video, but this one I just wanted to show you all the geometry and the boulevards and things, and how they're all pretty much set out the same way, but some have been completely built over and destroyed, and some yeah, still fairly intact. And this is Canberra, Australia, and you can see this we're told was a completely built city. I do have my reservations about that, but you can see the geometry is different. Look at this, we've just got a massive pyramid here going straight to Parliament House, Capitol Hill, where they capitalise everyone's name, of course, and it's even got the capstone broken off. There is a circle, but you can see it's different. It's different geometry. We don't have the radiating lines, the starbursts and things at all. Straight lines. We've got this, which is a, you know, old world familiar design, and of course a big dome building at the end. And it's things like this that make me wonder, you know, is the story of Canberra correct? Because that looks like the remnants of an old world boulevard to me. But yeah, you can see that they've come in and they've changed all the geometry here. So big pyramids and circle, no radiating lines, no, you know, higgledy-piggledy roads or anything like that. Just, and you'll notice also here, sorry, Pentagon. You don't normally see shapes like that unless they're actually like the star citadels, you know, the actual star forts in inverted commas, brackets. And again here, this looks like the remnants of a boulevard to me. So this is why I reckon this is probably built over an old world city as well. And this sort of familiar shape, right? And then what's going on there? And then it just turns back into, you know, that familiar shape we see. What's that? X marks the spot. And then, yeah, see how the canal just comes out and just does that shape. So yeah, I reckon this is old world. Obviously we've got all our golf courses and stuff, but the geometry is just different. You can just see it's More straight lines, a bit more, you know, what we would term Illuminati. And this is Washington, DC in the USA. And we come down, and again, you just straight away, you can see these boulevards. This one's all been cleaned up, retrofitted. Course, big golf courses here. And you do see, we see the traits of an old world city here with these radiating lines. I'm not sure what the monument in the middle there is. Of course, we have another golf course, but yeah, the canal with the funny bends in it, here and here. See that bend? So this is, yeah, would be the old Star City, sort of here and here. But as you can see, they've done what they've done in Australia. You can see this pyramid. See that? And see how it's kind of at the end of this boulevard, and we've got the Vesica Pisces here, which means there's going to be an obelisk in the middle, no doubt. Yep, obviously that's male, female. And we have this, look at that building. Yeah, but see, look, pyramid, and at the top, what do we get? But an owl. You see that? That's an owl. But, as you can see, this is a domed building. Obviously, that's Capitol Hill. Okay, big pyramid going up to Capitol Hill, just like it did in Australia, exactly the same. But this is the rebranding. So the old world, we're using this straight line, this boulevard. Reflection pool, yeah, there's a reflection pool. It looks like they've changed the shape slightly. And then this, so it's old world, you know, city, and they've just changed it. They've sort of changed the geometry and the intention and all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, it comes all the way back down to the water. And what do we have here? I think that's a big, is it a mausoleum or something? Lincoln Memorial. So that's probably New World as well. But you can just see there, definitely an old world city. Got these radiating lines. Got all the bits, but yeah, they come in and just change the geometry. Change the energy signature, the cymatics, all that kind of stuff. And again, of course, we have the islands in the stream. And this is Lima, Peru. Just to sort of show you that, you know, all over the realm, it's all the same story. Now this is another blast zone. As you can see, not very green, been destroyed, got lots of this Liechtenstein effect happening, running down here. So are these caused by, you know, these natural events and erosion of millions of years, or is this some kind of electrical discharge that's run through the earth and lifted it up? And we get these patterns left. So yeah, complete blast zone. Now this is, yeah, South America, right? And if we come in, you'll see straight away we get these tracts of land that look like boulevards, and we actually do get, here's another one, they started building houses in there. This one they've covered over with a golf course, but we do have some intact down the middle here. So see, look at this. So we've got one here, we've got, what's that? Looks like a big statue. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an 8-pointer. Got the line coming through, big buildings, and obviously this has all been covered up. Whatever was there, you can see there was something happening. And just across here, you can see here, and this is what I was talking about. Water fountain, a water pool. This is, see that arched, you know, the semicircle with the columns. Down here, a statue or an obelisk, and another water feature. And we see this a lot. The only thing that's missing from that, look at that, they've built a road straight through it, is the arc. And a domed building here. I'll see if we can see anything there. But so yeah, this is South America, right? We shouldn't be seeing the same layouts as we're seeing in Europe and Australia. There you go, water feature. So that's a fountain. No doubt that's a big domed building. I didn't even have a look at that, did I? Where is it? Where's the big domed building? Is it underground or something? Because it doesn't seem to be there. That's weird. So I don't know what's going on there. More, what's that? Water, another lake. This way. So if we can get down in there, maze. Okay, so we have, I think this was the circle, but we've got a square. Fountain, reflection pool here. Look at these big old, what are they, sort of antiquity columns, bollard type things. Bells, another fountain there, another one here. It's a very old world. Like I said, this is South America, Lima, Peru. And there we have our reflection pool. Coming up to our main fountain. And then at the end, we get this. And we just saw that in the Vatican, did we not? Slightly different. They had more columns, but that is the exact same thing. I'll just see if I can get a better view for you. Let's go back here. There. See that big semicircle colonnaded, whatever those things are. What are they? Like patios or something? And a huge water feature. Surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more water features. Interesting. So there you go. And also, if we go to the actual center, you'll find it is a big radiating circle, just like we see, in France, in Berlin, in England, in everywhere. And of course, going around, no doubt, some massive statue or something. Oh my God. Look at the tunnel. Why do I keep going underground? That is, weird. They're trying to show me something. Come on. Oh my God. Guys, keep it above ground. I'm going to stand on the street. Let's see. Hopefully I won't get hit by a car. Okay, look at this. Okay, now look at the angel on top. This is something I'm going to do a video on. All these angels sitting on top of these massive columns. Why and how did they get them up there, and how are they fixed? Because you can imagine they're sitting up there. They've just got these little feet as the attachment points, but they're sitting through all the wind and the weather, and they're still fine. And this clearly old world. And just look at these buildings. Did we not just see these pretty much the exact type of buildings at the Louvre in Paris? Look at them all. Lima, South America. Okay, they tell us there was nothing here at all, and that the Spanish got there and built all this, knocked it all up all over the continent in 100 years or so. But it just happens to be the exact same stuff we see everywhere. And if you can see these buildings, they're actually, well, apart from the fact they're curved at the front, they're actually fluted out, so they're smaller at the front, like a wedge. And isn't fluted, I was thinking about the word fluted, isn't that strange? That fluted, it's like, like a trumpet to flute out. But flutes aren't fluted. Trumpets are, but not flutes. So I don't know, I found that interesting too. But there you go, this is Lima, South America, massive radiating circle. And then as we see, they've come in and turned everything into squares, like this grid. Square, left-brained, box-like grids. So all the new building is always grid-like. The old stuff, so I'd say there was a lot under here. You can just see all the parks. You can see some geometry there. Okay, so that's why there's a few funny angles still here. Yeah, look at this, but they've just built straight over the top of something huge here. Look at this, we just got, oh, that's so sad. They just come in and they just destroy, they just build on the top. which is another reason why, you know, everything's underground, because they literally build on top of the old star cities. But this place is just huge. You know, again, old world, you know, features. And I mean, what is this? I bet you that's some huge palace that they just don't tell us about. Well, oh my gosh. Look at that. So yeah, I don't know what couldn't, was that what we were just looking at? Maybe. Very strange. World city, you know, the markers are everywhere, and you can see clearly they've come in and just built over and destroyed everything. Here we go. This is probably what was originally, can you see this shape? This was probably originally like the citadel, or, you know, a part of the city like the Vatican, like we saw in the Vatican, and also we saw a bit in Paris. See how it looks like it's been walled, or it's had something. And again, look at all the geometry and just, you know, in this outer bit here. So again, something has been covered up underneath here, and looks like this is all we get left. We've turned this into a car park. Nice work, guys. Just wondering if that's more columns, this thing. I can't really see. But see, this looks like an old world refacaded building. That's probably not, that's probably 70s, but this just looks old world. And some cheap, nasty 70s, 80s buildings. So this is, yeah, Lima. Just wanted to show you guys all the different layouts, how it's all the same layout through all the different cities. We have the same features, and we have these same funny, you know, radiating lines and funny shaped buildings. You can see there's a bit of something from the old world city, and they've come in and they've put their X marks the spot in there. But it's all the same. The old world cities are right-brained. You know, they're creative. They're not squared. They've got curvy lines. They've got funny shaped buildings, and they're sort of free-flowing. But the new stuff that comes in that the parasites have put down is just all squared off, and they just build over everything. They just build over it all. They don't care. They just want to trash it all. As you can see, this was an old, you know, boulevard as well. You can see it everywhere. And yeah, the parasites come in, build over the top, and destroy the old worlds, and, you know, just turn off all the functioning, so that they destroy all the free energy, you know, all the everything that worked, the water systems, you know, the heating. They just had everything sussed out, and of course it was all free. So the Freemasons don't like that. They like things free for themselves, so they go and steal it, disconnect it all, and charge us to live. And again, here's a bit more of a view at these Liechtenstein events. Look at this. What's going on there? Look at that. There's like a row of farms around the edge of this mountain range thing. But yeah, so Liechtenstein, is that some kind of electrical discharge pattern that we've seen here? Because look at them all. Right, look at all this. You know, just looks like lightning, right? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Liechtenstein, Liechtenstein, I believe, and you'll see, yeah, what I'm talking about. It's they're these lines, and they're made with electricity. It's like an electric discharge. So there we go, guys. Going to leave it there. So a bit of a look at just, again, the features of star cities, and just to show you that it's all the same all over the world. Only, you know, they have refacaded them, as they do with everything. They've built over them to change the look, given us a different story, and expected us to believe it. And just look underwater here. Look how they cover up, how covered up that is, and this is not covered up. So what's this? Big chevron sitting under the ocean. I mean, so clearly they're just hiding half the stuff. Got all these lines everywhere, but you come down here and look. It's just all blurred out. Alright guys, so thanks for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed that one. I'll be back with some more videos on star cities and discovering, the world as it was just, a short few hundred years ago. And obviously we all want to discover how we can get back to living in these types of communities and get this free power turned back on and rid ourselves of these parasites once and for all. So have a fantastic day. Thanks for spending some time with me, and I will talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.